very hot right there. Be careful with that hot butter. Seek adult supervision when you're fooling with this hot butter right here. And I just put that in that oven right there to melt that butter. Preheating the oven, you know, that way you get more for your money. But we're gonna use that butter right there and make us one of them there. I'll show you. We'll bake a peach cobbler. Go ahead and strike that peach out there. We're going to bake a pineapple cobbler. Was cutting up a piece of metal out there. Listen up. Turn the volume up. Do that again. Get the full effect. Just trying to get your attention. That's all. Move down front, because this right here is really, really good. I've cooked this before. I mean, several times. This is not my first rodeo when it comes to a peach cobbler. Just in this case, I don't got no peaches. Used them up the other day right over here. Put them. Y'all remember that? Cooked that peach cobbler right there. It was a hit. Comment was made about this baking dish. You know, break the dish out. Don't leave no reply. Just get the dish out and cook something. You know. And once y'all try this, leave a comment then. But I got a stick of butter in there that I put in this dish, and I turned that oven on to 350 degrees. And I shoved that dish in there, and as I was preheating the oven, I melted that butter right there. And you know, to not make one of them big old real long videos about a pineapple cobbler. I mean, it makes its own crust. It's like magic, and it's so easy. I've done talked longer than it takes to fix it. But, and it's the ingredients. You know, 1 stick of butter and 1 can of peaches and 1.5 cups of flour, self-rising. And that's what I got right in here. And you need 1.5 cups of that. And, you know, just get you a handful about like that and a handful about like that. That's 2 handfuls. You know, that's probably 1.5 cups right there. You know, well, that's a little much. I'm going to go with a little extra on that there flour. That's what makes the crust right there. And sugar, most of the time, I tend to put too much sugar in it. But I'm thinking 1 cup of sugar and like a handful about like that. That was 1/4 cup, so you need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to be enough right there. I'm gonna put 2 more of them in there. That's 6 of them handfuls on that there sugar. And, you know, anytime it makes your dry ingredients up right there as you go. Just, you know, kind of pre-mix, you know. I think they teach you this right here up there at the culinary school. Boy, that's real fluffy right there, that self-rising flour. That's some good flour right there. But I'll tell you what, it didn't come from Aldi's, I'll tell you that. That flour didn't come from Aldi's over there, but I do have a quarter. To get me a cart. I'm just going to go over and push that cart through Aldi's and look around, you know, refresh myself to what they've got, and see if I make a purchase. I'm going to give it a try. But it's salt. I counteracted that sugar with, that was I'm going to put a little more on that salt. That's not too much. It seems like a lot, but it ain't. And mix that around, because I think that salt, actually I should put a little more sugar in that. I think I got some cane sugar I'm going to add to that right there.
cinnamon. I have used this cinnamon right here 2 or 3 times since Dale sent it to me, and Kim sent me this cinnamon, and I kind of like it. It's got a real good taste to it. It's not like that, well, I'm not going to compare brands or nothing. I'm just going to put some in there. You see about how much that is right there? That's a little light on that cinnamon. I'm going to put a little more, you know, because I like it. If you like it, put it in there. And I'd say, too, also, you could put some nutmeg in here if you wanted to. Allspice, you know, but, well, it's not necessary. Even you could give this right here a ginger. You know what I think I'll do? A little deviation. Just a little side trip on the road to cobbler stardom. I'm going to add, when I was looking for something up yonder, this right here got set down, and she said, use it. Says, you got it out, use it. You got it out, use it. I said, okay. So what I'm going to do is, this right here is cornmeal mix. That's a big old handful right there. Okay, I'm going to put 2 of them in there, because I really want to be able, I tell you what, the reason I put that cornmeal in there is, you know, by cooking some other recipes, you know, it's not unlike, I tell you what, it's not unlike writing a song, cooking. You know, you add an ingredient, and if it's not right, counteract it with something, or take it out, leave it out the next time. I mean, that's all there are to it. If I hadn't been talking, you would already have this in the oven with some minutes on the timer already. I'm telling you, that's how easy it is. But in a pinch, if you don't have that Aldi's ground cinnamon, just use what you got. You know, just saying. And right here in this dry mixture right here, we got to put some milk in there. 1.5 cups of milk. And I used this skim milk. I think it's 0, but I used that the other day. You know, I'm just going to kind of gut judge about it, and I think that's about right there. I put just a little bit extra right there, and you want to whisk this together. You really want that right there to really be smooth and homogeneous. You know, a smooth batter, a smooth mixture. But you want this right here on a little bit. If you're not measuring, if you're just cooking something that's really good, and well, what right there is going to be good. I ain't done this good right here in a long time. I think it's something to do with the weather. And I did step outside there. I had some brush piled up in the fire pit out there, and so I stepped out and lit that brush afire. And so I'm trying to keep an eye on it, you know, kind of sideways every now and then on my fire pit out there. So, but well, that looks good. Y'all see that? Okay, now that's what you want your batter to look like. If you've ended up with your batter, just throw you a couple handfuls of this in there and a handful of that. If your batter ends up like that right there, you done good. But what I'm going to do, just, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put that right in there. Y'all see that melted butter in there? Oh, that's going to be good. Watch this. You really want to get all this out of there. But y'all watch this, how smooth this is. Y'all see that? Now just pour it right in that dish right there. And if you ain't got the same size dish as I've got, you know what I mean, bigger or little, don't leave none in there. Take your thing and get that out right there. Boy, it's gonna be good. Man.
telling you what, cooking and baking don't have to be as complicated as you make it out to be. And this right here will prove the fact. That's all I had. Wanted a fruit pie. So, you just pour them right off in there, that juice and all, and, kind of distribute them around. If you don't distribute these around in a larger vessel, as I'm using here, if you neglect this part right here and just dump them right in the center, boy, it's going to be good right here. I wished I had some ice cream laid in. Man. That's all you do right there. I was getting ready to poke this right here. I was getting ready to probe it and move some stuff around, but it's totally unnecessary. No, I'm just going to say no probing at this point. Now, I've had this out of the oven. Yeah, it's cool enough where I can pick that up. So I'm going to shove it in that oven right there. It's hot up in there too. I was very careful when I put that in there. I'm going to turn the light on and I'm going to observe the time. And it's about 5 minutes. I tell you what, it's another one of them coincidences. Y'all see if this ain't going to be true. I mean, you have to kind of grade it on a slant. You know what I mean? Grade it on a curve, so to speak. But we needed 350 degrees on this oven temperature here, and so the dial is a little bit slanted to the left, just a few degrees, enough to be off center. I'm just telling you this because you may not be able to see it. I'm explaining it to you. Call it a radio show if you must. But it's kind of like this right here, okay? The time beginning is 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. Okay? This right here in my world, looking at it, if you turn that clock upside down, it would almost be the time up there. So, that just goes to prove you can line your oven up almost every time by your clock. So, when this new recipe book comes out, I don't think I'm going to put no degrees in there and just let everyone go by whatever time it is. Just line your dial up right there to correspond to it, and I think you'll have success with it. But we're going to wait 45 minutes. Now, no more, no less. Well, I'm going to take that back. 45 minutes minimum at this 350 degrees. And somewhere on the upper end up there, I'm going to look at it, and if it needs it, I'll put a foil on top of it there if it's browning too much. 45 minutes plus. I'm thinking exactly 45 minutes. We're going to probe it, and then we might put it back in there because we're just going to look at it. See there? I think that needs a little more baking time. Actually, it's good to go. But I'm going to put it back in there for another 10 minutes. We've waited this long, we might as well wait another 10 minutes. And that's based solely on how well, I think it needs to be more done, or the dough part. We'll give it 10 minutes. It's exactly 50 minutes on that timer. So let's get that cobbler out of there. I wish you could smell that. Let's shave some butter on top of that thing. A little butter never hurt nothing. We probably better turn that off. Boy, it really smells good with that pineapple cinnamon. I should have thrown some rice in that. Man, I'll do that next week.
Boy, I should put that butter out there earlier. Because you want to get your butter on there when that's hot. But not too big. Go kind of sparingly on that butter. We're gonna let this sit here and cool for about 10 minutes. Then we'll dish it up. Let's service up a couple of portions. You know, I usually get that corner piece. Almost every time I get the corner piece. But on this time right here, I'm just going to go ahead and you know, cube it out, let's say. All the way across. Well, I'll tell you what, you put some of that there vanilla ice cream, put you some on here, man. You know, we're talking good then. But let's just take one right out of the center, all the way to the bottom. Boy, that looks good. Can y'all see that? Let's just serve it up. No, it's so pretty. Perfect. That right there is perfection. If I brag on myself, just pencil it in. That's perfection. Okay, I'm going to get a piece over here. This piece right here was over here to the side right there. That's a corner piece. Oh, that's nice browning on that right there. And just serve it with a dollop of ice cream. Seeing how I didn't lay in the ice cream, I'm going to just go ahead and, you know what, both of them looks tempting, but I'm going to pass this one on, and I think I'm going with this one right here. And oh yeah, let's try to get a pineapple on the first bite. Okay, we got one. See half of it? Half pineapple and half bread. Let's get that other pineapple. Well, as always, there's a chance of eating too much. When you cook this way, there's definitely a chance that you will eat too much. Just be on, that's the reason they call it comfort food. That cornmeal in there, that changed the texture of it to perfection. Don't be afraid to throw some cornmeal in most anything. Pineapple cobbler. In this here bacon dish right here. Toted that up here from Arkansas. It's a nice one. Well run in. But as always, enjoy. As always, just a little add-on there. You know, I just had to come back and say how good this was. Downright delicious. With some ice cream, it even gets better. I suggest that you throw on a big heaping spoonful of sour cream, cream cheese, something like that. Good gets better. But on a standalone, dish it out, you know, the consistency after a taste test, downright delicious. You know, just a few simple ingredients, you know, you got a cobbler.